Hello everyone, and welcome to my oh so messy garage. It's a little rainy out today, so I'm gonna be in here tinkering around, and I'm gonna be working on kind of like a prototype project. Something that I've been wanting to do ever since I got this Solo Stove Ranger. But I did do a video on that, so if you're interested in the Solo Stove Ranger, go check that out. But one of the things that I didn't like, and I mentioned in that video about this stove is, or fire pit, is that you can't really, it doesn't really radiate heat much from the side. So I'm going to prototype an idea that I came up with, and if it works, I'm going to move it into a 12-gallon barrel drum, if you will. It looks just like a 55-gallon metal drum, except it's smaller. It's bigger in diameter than this, smaller diameter than that, and taller than this. It's about 22 inches tall or so, and probably about 15 inches around. So I think that'll be a good size for this if this works. And what I'm going to do here is basically make a single wall version of this, a basic burn barrel, you know, typical thing that people do with 55-gallon drums. So yeah, I'm gonna just drill holes in the bottom of this and put a fire in it. And I'm probably gonna get a grate that goes in here to kind of elevate your fuel above the airflow so it gets underneath it. So yeah, let's get into this. All right, so this is going to be a super simple project. All we're going to need is Sharpie. We got our tape measure and a drill bit with the drill or drill press. I'm going to try to use my drill press on this and see how that works out. So here's our trash can. This is just an old trash can that I found at work. It's metal, not real thick. It's typical trash can. But this thing does have a little lip on the bottom. This ring, it's about 1 1/8 tall, so the floor of the can actually sits up. So when I measure up, I'm going to measure up about 1.5 inches, and that's where I'm going to drill my holes, so it'll be above that floor on the bottom.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the comeback? Yeah. Are you ready for the comeback? You know we the ones that ready for whatever. We gon' have to show them something, man. Let me see them hands up.
This drill press, I love this thing. It was manufactured in 1987. It's as old as I am.
All the way front back, you don't understand that I'm doing what you can with no cap. This is the return of the one. You ain't see him coming, you just heard drums. They've been ready for the battle. Any person that comes got the weight of the world on them. Yeah, they too strong. I might have been down, not out. It's on sight, you gon' figure that out. And I might have.
All right, let's take a second here to look at what we're doing. So these are the terribly ugly holes that I've been drilling with the drill press. And this one here, as you could tell, looks a lot nicer. It's more centered, it's completely round, as opposed to these chunky, ugly holes. So these, I mean, as much as I love my old ass drill press, this last hole here, I drilled out with a step bit. So I'm going to finish this up with the step bit instead of the drill press. And by the way, I just put a little marking on it with a Sharpie to stop at 1/2 inch, so I know where to stop. So we're going on up. And in case you're wondering, this here is just a coffee jug full of motor oil. It's like to keep the bit nice and lubricated.
Been down, not out. Only one thing I gotta know now is, are you ready for the comeback? Yeah. Are you ready for the? Are you ready for the comeback? You know we the ones that. Let me see them hands up all the way I'll be the self-made champ, look at my belt. I built this all from the ground up, this all by myself, y'all know. This is the return of the one. You ain't see him coming, you just heard drums. They've been ready for the battle, any person that comes got the weight of the world on them, yeah, they too strong. I might have been down, not out. It's on sight, you gon' figure that out. And I might have been down, not out. Only one thing I gotta know now is, are you ready for the comeback? Yeah. Are you ready for the Are you ready for the comeback? You know we the ones that. Let me see them hands up all the way front back. Yeah, this the comeback. Are you ready for the comeback?
'Tis the next day. The storm has passed and the sun is shining, and thus we shall continue the project. Look at that. Finally got a door on it. Hadn't had a back door on this thing in almost a year now. Go Fast finally came out and fixed it. Super excited. Okay, so final thoughts on my trash can fire pit. I like it, but I think I can do a lot better. Now, one of the things I think is an issue with this is how thin the material is. It burns good, but I don't think it holds enough heat in the metal to really make it worthwhile. I measured the side of this at 950 degrees, which is great. It's what I want. I want, you know, some heat radiating from the side of this thing, but I think I can do better, which is where this container comes in. So this is a 12-gallon drum, and the metal on this is thicker, much thicker than the trash can here. Obviously, it's supposed to be a more heavy-duty container and made to withstand more abuse than this thin little trash can. As you can hear, it's different. Much thicker material, much better steel on this one. So basically, I like how this performed. I love the radiating heat, but I think when I move to this, turn this into this, it's going to perform awesome. You can put a lot of wood in here, and I think you can get this thing really hot. So I'm excited to turn this into a fire pit and see how well it performs against the Solo Stove Ranger here. This thing was great, but you know, it has its limitations. It's small, it's thin, burns good, but I don't think it'll perform as well as this or this. So anyway, stay tuned for this video. I'm gonna make a fire pit out of this. If you like this one, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it 2 thumbs up, and I will see you next time.